There has been an explosion in the debate on social media and on local talk shows of the government's handling of healthcare with the near completion of the horse racing facility in Vieux-Fort. The government is pushing back against the accusation that it is prioritizing horses over healthcare. Prime Minister Allen Chastanet says works on the completion of the St.Jude hospital continue apace.
Look, we're going to move as fast as possible. We actually understand the urgency to be able to move in. But at the same time, I want to say that, my government, clearly understanding the strategy that we had, have spent a tremendous amount of money and effort in trying to make the existing St. Jude's, the stadium, as comfortable as possible. While there were those who criticized us for taking down the roof, but that was obviously bothersome to a lot of the staff members that were there when the sheeting was falling off. We have added additional dialysis machines at the hospital. We have new beds that have gone into the hospital. We've added a new X-ray machine. We've got mobile MRI machines. So there has been a substantial amount of upgrading to the St. Jude's. That is not to say that we're satisfied.
Prime Minister Allen Chastanet says his government has not remained idle on healthcare. Despite the failure to complete the St. Jude Hospital and to transition to the OKEU Hospital, some of the concerns of the healthcare sector, he says, have been addressed.
I believe in the next 2 weeks we're actually going into a double shift. So the goal is to try to have the main structure of the building completed by February, and that then the OACC crew will be moving in full time in terms of retrofitting the hospital, so we can try to have it up and running as quickly as possible.
Minister for Economic Affairs Guy Joseph says healthcare and the horse racing track should not be bundled. He says one, as in the horse racing track, is private, the other, healthcare, is public.
The horse racing is a private sector investment. So should all private sector investment in the country stop because government is not doing certain things that it's supposed to be doing? I mean, this type of reasoning, if politicians want to score political points, they must come up with things that make sense. Because if I were to ask the government, how did they find $68 million to be able to start the administrative building in Vieux-Fort? Wasn't the hospital more important than the administrative building? And that was government expenditure. That was not private sector expenditure. So, people must pick the things that they are going to speak about that make sense.
But the opposition has denied the distinction, citing the Prime Minister's prior statement in which he noted that the investor will be reimbursed. This, they say, makes the horse racing track public. The other members of the cabinet have remained largely silent on the DSH project and horse racing track debate. None was present at last week's press conference and tour of the new facility. Stanley Lucian for the HTS News Force.